sure you act surprised.
Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Intern TV here on Newman Media at Newman University. I'm Matt Dopp, excited to bring you another episode of Intern TV here with Andrew Golden and Jeff Wilson. But before we get to our guests and anything else, we have a little bit of breaking news. Boop, 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 beep, 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 boop. Jeff Wilson has a full-time job after graduation.
I do. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Huge.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. So I surprised him. I didn't tell him we were going to do this. So I guess tell us where it's at a little bit quick here.
So the internship is with IMS, International Microsystems. They're a point-of-sale company right here in Aston. I'm going to be doing some sales and marketing development for the company, kind of boost up that department for the company and see how high we can soar.
Well, hey, congratulations. We're real excited for you.
Appreciate you.
Like we said, usually at the end of the episodes, we say we're going to be watching your career. We're going to be watching your career, too.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, we also have Andrew Golden here, where
I am
you're always
also
doing
here.
a lot of interning. So I guess how's your week semester going?
It's been pretty busy, but it's going well.
Better than being slow.
That's
Busy makes the time
that
go
is
by.
true. Yeah, it
Time
does.
flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, it's going a little too fast though. It's the last semester.
So you're having fun.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's having fun, no?
We're all having fun, Intern TV. Hopefully we can have our guest have some fun, because we're bringing on Mia
Smooth.
Semino. You like that?
Yeah.
We're bringing on Mia Semino. She is a social work major here at Newman. She's been really our friend for 4 years, so I'm really excited to talk to her. She's doing an internship at the St. Francis Hospital in Wilmington, Delaware. So let's bring her in. Hey, Mia, are you there?
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Doing well. Excited to talk to you. So like I said, you're a social work major and you've been interning at the St. Francis Hospital for a few months now. So tell me a little about what you do, what the internship's looking like for you.
Yeah, so I've been an intern in the St. Francis Hospital since August of last year, and I'm doing it for my entire senior year of school. And I'm also there with 2 other social work majors, and we're all working together under the patient experience team. And we kind of act as an advocate for the patients, but also keep in mind the staff and nurses and advocate for them as well, and just kind of act as a mediator and hear about feedback for the hospital.
So being a kind and caring person as like your personality, do you think your personality traits led you down the path of wanting to work in social work?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that it's really helped me, especially for this internship, because especially with COVID right now, just until 2 weeks ago, there were absolutely no guests allowed at the hospital unless they were maternity. So a lot of the patients are there for a couple of weeks and they're extremely lonely. So it kind of helped that I was able to go in and sit with a patient for 20 minutes, half an hour, and talk to them about their family and just kind of give them something to do a little bit for the rest of their day.
So could you go a little bit more in depth of what it means to be a patient advocate? Just kind of, take us through what you might do on a daily basis there.
Yeah, sure. So in the morning, we have a supervisor and we check her voicemails, and usually it's people calling with some sort of issue or some sort of compliment that they would like to give. So we always give calls back, and any issue we talk with them and let them know that whatever it is, it'll be fixed and resolved. And if they had already left the hospital, we will enter it into the system where the correct department will be notified about it. And then usually by that time the patient is satisfied. But then when a patient is still in the hospital, we will go and visit them, see what any issue is with them, try to resolve it. We do work with the social workers there a lot because unfortunately a lot of the population that is there does not have a steady home. So we work with them to try to find them transportation to rehabilitation centers or shelters. So I feel like it's very beneficial work that we're doing there to help the population.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It sounds like you're keeping busy there. But here, obviously on Intern TV, we really like stories and we like hearing, kind of personal interactions. And I'm sure, like you talked about 2 weeks ago, no patients were allowed, so you had time to go in and talk to someone for 20 minutes or, see someone else. So I'm sure you've met a lot of, fascinating people that you've gotten to almost maybe build personal relationships with. Has there been, maybe a patient that you've maybe grown a personal connection with, or have a, a good story you can tell that maybe you made their day or helped them through a tough time or anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. So a few weeks ago, we received a call from a woman whose husband was currently in the hospital, and she said, my husband's not eating, he's not getting good care. So we went to visit him, and I sat down and spoke with him for about half an hour. And he told me that he's blind due to some of the conditions that he has, and that was the reason that he wasn't eating. But he didn't want to ask for help because he kind of wanted to be a tough guy and take care of himself. So after figuring that out, I was able to speak with his nurse, tell her that he needs a little bit of assistance with eating, and maybe give him sandwiches instead of foods that you need a fork or a knife for. So we were able to switch up his diet a little bit. And then I went back in and spoke with him, and he told me that he currently lives on the street that I used to live on when I was a baby. So we talked about some of the parks that were nearby, and he told me that both him and his wife worked at the nearby high school, and even told me some stories that there would be underground tunnels and it would be creepy at night. But he seemed to really light up when he was talking about his wife, and I could tell that he definitely missed her. And it felt really good that she called us, and I was able to call her back and say, hey, I met with your husband, I sat down with him, and we were able to fix his diet so he could eat, and the nurse knows to check up on him a little bit more since he doesn't like pressing the call bell. So that was really great, and then I went back the following week to visit him, and then after that he was discharged and back home to his wife. So it was definitely good.
It's a great story.
That is awesome.
It's a great story. We normally go for like the funny stories.
Yeah.
How about a life-changing story?
That was touching.
You know what that
Heartwarming.
deserves?
I think it deserves a story chain.
There it is.
God, that was so touching. You got to throw the bling on.
Yeah.
So there's this little chain there, story chain. The best of the best stories get them, and I was definitely there.
14 karat gold. No
14
big
karat gold. It's shining in the light.
It's definitely 14 karat, I can tell.
It was 14 something. $14.
It's okay. Not everything has to be expensive.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, going back to you saying that the patients have, this isn't funny, I don't know why I'm laughing, but patients are not allowed to have visitors. Has it made your role more difficult? Because whether that being patients are not kind of cooperating due to the fact that they can't see their loved ones?
Yeah, for sure. We receive a lot of calls from loved ones who say, I'm not able to even communicate with my husband or daughter, whoever's there. So a lot of the times I'm mostly dealing with the patient's loved ones because they're kind of in the dark about the patient's condition, and the patient wants to handle it themselves but then don't communicate with their family. So I want to say starting in January, we started going around to the floors with papers for the patients to sign saying, hey, this is one person I would like my doctor to call. I sign off that my doctor can speak with them once a day about anything going on with me. And that actually helped the communication tremendously. So it helped both the patient and the patient's loved ones, because it was a very difficult time when no one was able to come into the hospital to see them.
What has it meant to you to be able to work for St. Francis Hospital? Obviously has Franciscan ties, and here at Newman we are a Franciscan university. Has there been any intermingle between that? Did being at a Franciscan university have any play in getting tied up with this internship at all?
Yeah, I think I was definitely interested in it since it has the same kind of values as Newman does. And I actually I met with a nun who she lives somewhere in Delaware. She doesn't live here, but she said that she knew a few sisters who live at this campus over here. So she was telling me a little bit about them, and she knew the school before it was even Newman University. So it's kind of cool because a lot of people do recognize the university since it is a Catholic college and a Catholic hospital. So I think that kind of helps me a little bit connect with the patients.
Yeah, no, awesome. So Mia, I did an internship, one of them that went from September to April, and I remember that by the end of it, I was a totally different person in April than I was in September. And I know that you've been working at this hospital since August, and now it's March, so that's almost basically the same time frame. So have you been able to realize, how have you been growing in this role, and You know, do you kind of have those same feelings like, wow, I'm a totally different person professionally than I was back then, and now that graduating soon, you know, getting ready to enter into the job force?
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that one. I have learned so much throughout this internship. I've learned things I do like doing, things I don't like doing, and especially I've learned right in the beginning of it when speaking with patients, they would go off on a tangent about something that happened, and I would believe every single word that they said. And then I would relay it back to my supervisor, and she would say, pull up the chart, let's see. So we have access to the patient files. And then most of the time it wouldn't be true, or they would be exaggerating the situation. So my supervisor has been extremely helpful in helping me kind of decipher what could be false and what is true, because it is true a lot of the times, but sometimes there are a lot of things that are thrown at the nurses for when it just didn't happen. So it's definitely taught me a lot with working with clients, as well as being professional in a social work setting.
One final question for me. Going back, to your time before this internship, I know you worked at Cokesbury, which is a retirement and elderly home community. How did that experience help you moving into this experience, with dealing with patients and knowing how to handle different situations?
Working at a retirement home helped me tremendously. I was working in assisted living there. I was doing dietary, and as well during the COVID pandemic, the retirement home was closed to guests. So a lot of the time I would sit in residents' rooms and talk to them. And that's very similar to what I'm doing at the hospital. So I was comfortable going into the patients' rooms and sitting with them, and I was able to have conversation starters. A lot of them would be about their family, because I've noticed that a lot of time patients love talking about their family. And the skills that I learned working at the retirement home helped there, because it's a lot of older patients. And I've really grown a love for older people, and I feel like that there's so much that you can learn from them. So it helped me a lot.
Well, Mia, it seems like you've been flourishing in a lot of situations throughout your life, so I hope you're ready for this and you can flourish during this, because we got quick six coming at you. We're going to fire 6 questions at you, and we hope you can answer them quick. So, Jeff, go ahead, you're up.
Off the top of your head, do you know the name for the plastic tip at the end of the shoelace?
No.
It's an aglet.
All right, I'll give you an easy one. What's the favorite concert you've ever been to?
Lil Wayne.
What is your favorite Disney movie?
Cinderella.
What is your favorite word?
Taco.
That's
What is the weirdest thing anyone has ever done in your house? Like a guess, like something weird. Like, what do you
I don't know. My dad cooks a lot of weird foods, so maybe the smells that come from the food.
That's a good answer.
Would you rather never be able to have an animal in your life or never fall in love?
Deep. Deep
I would
question.
rather never fall in love.
She loves her dog,
I do.
Sam.
Sam.
That's the
The
correct
dog
name.
Sam. A little shot. But hey, Mia, that was actually a very quick 6. That was good. She was on top of it. This was like a game show.
If we had a quick 6 chain, she'd be 2 chains.
She would be. No, even a Lil Wayne quick chains. She said her favorite concert. Anyway,
Yeah, you're right.
Lil Wayne. All right. Well, hey, Mia, we can't thank you enough for coming. I really appreciated learning about everything you've been doing in social work. So, anything else you want to say before we wrap up here?
No, I just want to say I appreciate your questions and kind of highlighting social work for the week. So thank you.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. You were actually, I think you might be our first social work guest. So, had a lot of fun talking to you, and obviously you're blazing the path for the next one.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Well, hey, Mia, like we said, we know you're a senior and you're graduating soon. So, good luck with everything in your career, and we'll certainly be following it. So, Jeff, also, hey, congratulations to you again.
Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
It's an honor
Yeah.
to sit beside you.
Don't worry,
Well,
we'll
I'm not beside
wow.
we would be next to each
We
other,
normally
but
would be.
social distance.
Social distance.
Well, Andrew, hey, thanks for coming.
Yeah, I'm
Well-
here. Thank you.
You're here, yeah, great question. And we want to thank our fans, everyone at Newman Media, everyone at Newman University. We hope you have a great week, and we will see you next week for another episode of Intern TV.